Okay, so he tells the press today that the reason why Flynn was fired is because of the media. But yesterday, Sean Spicer said the reason why Flynn was asked to resign is because the president lost trust in him. So which is it, you yuts?
To a point where the president did not feel comfortable with him serving in that position and asked for and received his resignation.
The president asked for and received his resignation. And today he's lying about what they said. I can't keep up with it. And the weird thing is he still won't say an unkind word about Putin. He still won't. It's so amazing. But, you know, the NSA issued a report in January, for Pete's sake, for the love of Jesus, that concluded that the Russian government had intervened in the election and were doing it to help Mr. Trump. But they never addressed whether any members of the Trump campaign had participated. And now they have. And they said yes. And it wasn't just Trump's campaign that was in constant contact with Russian intelligence, but it was also people in the Trump administration, people in the Trump organization that were talking to members of the Russian government. So obviously he said, I have no deals. I couldn't have a deal. I didn't want a deal. Well, yesterday we found out he does want a deal. He wants a Trump Tower, and he's wanted one for like a God knows. And now he has to release his freaking taxes because we need to know if he's in bed or indebted or had money coming to him in some way or going from him to Russia where he had a server. Remember he had a server in his office at Trump Tower? And they said, oh, it was just a bank server. It was just a bank. And all that was on there was advertising. What? Who the hell sets up a server for advertising in your office with Russia? Yeah, sure. Let's do that today. Go ahead. Set it up, Paul. Go ahead. I'll buy another hard drive. They'll pay for it. I'll buy another hard drive and we'll do it. We'll just hook up to, one of the... Let's do Japan. Let's do SoftBank.
Let me just grab some Cat 5. We'll be all set.
Thank you. General Tony Thomas, the head of the Military Special Operations Command, said he was very concerned about what was going on inside the White House. He said, our government continues to be in unbelievable turmoil. I hope they sort it out soon, because we're a nation at war. John McCain, he said, dysfunction. It's complete dysfunction. The country's national security apparatus and the White House is putting us in a place where nobody knows who's in charge and nobody knows who's setting policy. This is dangerous. That's what I'm saying. It's like, of course it's worse than Watergate. It involves a hooker peeing on a bed somewhere in Moscow. So of course it's worse than Watergate. And we're supposed to believe that didn't happen simply because he's a germaphobe. But urine is sterile. And a germaphobe would know that. Watergate.
I was poisoned with, they now say, a substance that may have been polonium or had the characteristics of polonium. This made me exceedingly ill.
Okay. He thinks he was poisoned by polonium. They probably sent his blood off to the CDC thinking he had Ebola. It's freaking Miami, for God's sake. And what was the other thing we had with the tsetse flies? What? Zika. They probably sent his blood up because they thought he was bit by a Zika mosquito. Oh, for Pete's sake. And these people in this country sit there and listen to this crap. They listen to a man tell them that dead babies, this was the sickest thing ever. Even Hillary had to say something about this. That dead babies in Sandy Hook in elementary school who were shot up like deer meat, that didn't happen. It's a false flag. These are some sick people, and they're making our country sick. They spew this viral crap, and people catch that virus, and it just dumbs them down. Low information voters, no. Misinformation voters, disinformation voters. This is like a Russian plot to disorient the American people, to catch us, in such a strange position where we don't know up is down or law and order. And the Constitution requires a government of laws, not a government of men. And people just get so confused and think, no, it's a government of one. It's the king. It's the Donald Trump. It's a charismatic leader. That's what we deserve. That's what we want. We need a megalomaniac. We need a strong man. Sorry, that's not how our government works. Now, idiot boy Flynn, who's supposed to have been the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, doesn't realize that routinely our national security apparatus wiretaps Russian intelligence officers that we know of. And they said the people that they were speaking to, that the Trump campaign was speaking to, were all known to our intelligence community. So they're speaking to people who were well known to our intelligence community who are routinely wiretapping them. Russia spies on us and we spy on them. So what in the world do you think they could have on Trump? Oh my freaking God. Now all of a sudden, you know, Russia has been fighting in Syria. You know that, right? Russia has been Bashar al-Assad's best buddy in the killing and maiming and mangling and mutilating of his people who protested Assad. That's how this civil war it's not really a civil war. It's people who want an open society versus Assad, a dictator. And they pushed back. It all started with protests in Syria. And Assad went absolutely batcrap crazy and started killing women and children and protesters and individuals, you know, civilians. That's how we got this massive refugee crisis. I mean, Assad has killed, Assad, with the help of Russia and air power and Russia's military might, has killed the population of Oakland, California. Just to make it real. The refugees are enough to fill Los Angeles. The population of Los Angeles. That's how many people are displaced and dead because of Russia and Assad. All of a sudden today, you know, you get Flynn, you know, now the president, trust me, believe me. Now you've got this man, the president of the United States. He is now toying with the idea of moving our troops from Kuwait to Syria. Trump wants a war. And, you know, I mean, what's really interesting is that if Russia can control his campaign and he let them, then Russia can also control his presidency. And if Russia wants Donald Trump out of the way, Russia will say, go to Syria. Meanwhile, Russian planes are buzzing our aircraft carriers yesterday, and they're doing missile tests.